All right, we're going to react to a thing. All right, Nick's pulling it up here. All right, so what do you guys think about this? This is you got on the left there an established and complete woman, and then a victim of Jesus. Wait, I don't know. What the fuck was that? Okay, it's a drawing, whatever. No, it's all good. You guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
You guys, what do you guys think of that? Agree, disagree?
Agree.
All right. Okay, on to the next thing, I guess.
I mean,
all right,
I
pull up
was
the
the woman
Kirk
on the
thing.
right, and now I'm the woman on the
God
left.
transforms, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, I
There you
totally
go. Zoom it out, down one, I think. Yeah, there you go. All right. Go ahead and actually, yeah, full screen it. Full screen it. Yeah, you go ahead. Beginning. Start from the beginning, please. Drag it back. Yeah.
We basically told a great generation of young women, don't get married, don't have kids, go get a corporate job, and it's created mass political hysteria. And then in their early 30s, they get really upset because they say, you know, the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime. And people get mad when I say that. Well, this is true. If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry. It's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s. But again, you have your corporate job and cats, so I thought, you know, we basically told.
So this went viral on Twitter a couple days ago. Charlie Kirk, he's giving a talk. Charlie, who we've had on the show before, and he said, well, women are not in their prime, in their 30s. Everyone lost their mind over this. Just going around the panel, do you guys object to this characterization that women are not in their prime when they're in their 30s?
30s is the new 20s, baby.
Erroneous! Erroneous!
No, I think that age, all that stuff is just trying to make people feel bad. Like, we're all children of God, and that's what he looks at. And I think all that other stuff causes depression, anxiety, puts pressures on people.
Aging?
I mean, it's a normal fact, but our world bases that so much. Look at the filters we have. All this stuff is just artificial. At the end of the day, we're all dying. This world is temporary. So why do we put so much emphasis on all this fake stuff around us? You know?
Well, then that's a very nihilistic approach. Why wouldn't people just unalive themselves then, if it's just a temporary, temporal, place to be in?
Well, what do you mean? That's not what the Bible would. You're not supposed to unalive yourself. That's not what God called you to do.
Wait a second. If you're talking to a person who's a secularist, you're trying to sell them on Christianity, and they ask you, well, wait a second, if it's all just a temporal state and it's ultimately meaningless, why don't I just off myself? You just say, because the Bible says not to.
With Jesus inside of us, we have a great purpose. We're supposed to help people. We are not supposed to just say, I'm saying on the outward appearance, we're so much on the material. I'm talking about the soul level. That's what really matters. Nothing about on the outer matters.
Wait, you mean like someone's outward physical appearance doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. Like, the soul is what matters. Everybody puts emphasis on how you look. Look at the most beautiful people are the most they hate themselves the most. They're the most depressed people.
Okay, so hold on.
Most beautiful people in the world.
But bringing it back to Charlie Kirk's video, his basic point was that, this could even be the case for a lot of men too, but he was saying that women in their 30s, I forgot exactly, they're not in their prime. So let's assume that's the physical prime. They're not as attractive as they were in their 20s. You object to that position?
I mean, I think to each, Botox come along. But I think really to each his own, because somebody might not like dating a younger girl who has an experienced life, who they can't talk to about things. There's a lot of men, which is, I think, disgusting. You see these, especially like in Nashville, I don't know, it's a thing, where these older guys are dating these young girls because they as older women would never put up.
Hold on.
What's wrong with that?
Well, hold on. No. Hold on. Wait. Just
young.
Are you talking? You talking about
40,
adults?
19,
You're talking about adults, though.
Yeah.
Because you're saying young girls.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear here. We're talking about adult
You're talking
women.
about they're dating women at 18 and up, right?
But somebody who's like a fresh baby. And the thing is all of us
women who are
in our 30s
That's
look at these
bad
men
characterization.
who are
They're not
40,
babies.
and a lot of them have ego issues. They're like crazy, and we see it. But the young girl, she's not developed enough to where she's kind of like deals with it, you know?
When did she get developed enough?
Well, honestly, God gives you a lot of wisdom and discernment.
When is that?
dive deep with God, when you put
Could it be an
instead of a
18?
man
Could an
putting a man
18-year-old
as an
girl have been
idol.
dive deep with God?
I'm sorry.
Can an 18-year-old girl be dive deep with God?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Then what the hell is the problem with that relationship?
I'm just saying, and generally, it's not that kind of relationship. Most
What kind
of
of
the time,
relationship
it's
is
a
it?
broken girl who's been through a lot of stuff, who isn't mature enough, and a broken guy who likes that this girl, he can control her, things like that. That's the modern
Yeah,
day.
but you could have that at 22 and 20. You don't need. Why would the age gap make a difference?
That's normally, I mean, normally from what I see, that's what I see.
Yeah, but you
So-
see that normally among people who are in the same age grouping too. It's pretty normal to see broken people get together in the same
The
exact
thing
age
is,
group.
until you put God first, you're gonna make a man an idol, and that's what I did for so long, and it was one of my biggest regrets, because
What does that mean? Make a
somebody's
man an
happiness-
idol.
I just
You're not
feel like
making a man an idol because there's an
if
age
you don't
gap.
have-
That's insane.
No, I'm just saying, if you don't put God first in your life, you are gonna make a man your idol. If you're 18, you're still discovering life. I'm not saying it's not true. It can happen. People do get married young, but it is weird. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why is it weird? It just gives you the ick? Does it just give you the ick?
No, it's because they're taking advantage. Because as a woman, I see that these women are very heartbroken, and these men are taking advantage of them. They might have some father wounds. They haven't had time to heal, and then they go after them. And I think it's especially when you have a heart of mercy. That's why you never see a narcissist with a narcissist. It's always the one. There's a sweet one, and then the narcissist. So
Well, that's
I
funny.
think-
In this particular instance, though,
I
why
think-
do you think that these women aren't just going after these older men because of their resources and because they want to have shit given to them and rides on airplanes and all this other different stuff that you seem to see in these age gap
There's always
relationships
something
all
deeper.
the time?
It's always something deeper because material things don't really get you that happy. So it's coming from somebody who's had it all.
Yeah, they don't, but that doesn't mean that women don't like material things because they sure do like material things.
Security, it's being provided for.
Let's have the whole panel
older men.
give a reaction to the video, starting with you. Go ahead.
What video in question? The
Lit-
one, like,
literally
the
the one
Charlie
we
Kirk
just
one.
remember.
Can you replay the video?
Under the age
All right,
of
pull it
30,
back up,
women are
Nick.
in
Pull
their
it back
prime
up.
for
Pull it back
dating.
up. Just skip to the end part,
Right.
like halfway through. Video from
Oh, okay,
full
okay,
screen,
that
full
one.
screen,
Sorry, I
full.
was
Just
thinking
play
about
one more
other
time.
videos.
Just play one more time. Go ahead. Play it. Play it. Yep. Go ahead.
You know, the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime. And people get mad when I say that. Well, it's just true. If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry. It's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s. But again, you have your corporate job and cats, so I thought you know.
You can
We've
pause it. Yeah, he's basically saying, hey, sorry, it's true. When you're in your 30s, you're not as attractive as you were when you were in your 20s.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Disagree?
I know some, like, I've heard of people say, like, my 25-year-old body isn't the same as, like, my 18-year-old body, and that's just something you have to accept. So I do agree with that video.
I read somewhere that man met his wife when she was in her 30s and he was in his 20s.
I don't think that makes his
Yeah,
point
but why
wrong.
would that be a
no, I'm
problem
not
for
saying
his
it
argument?
does.
And you're currently in an age gap relationship, correct?
Yes.
You are 24.
17 years? 17
Yes.
years, I remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 24. He's 41, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So wait, what's your point that you're trying to make?
No, I was just wondering if anybody else knew that was true. I don't think.
Is
that
she older
he-
than him, or he's like 34 and she's?
Let's assume she's 10 years older than him. I don't understand how that affects what he said.
Well, I would say that he
not
doesn't
everybody.
believe what he's saying.
I don't
Wait,
think
what?
it's too. I don't think it's conflicting at all
Okay.
for him. I don't think the statement he made and the fact that he married a woman who was 30.
Out of the pool.
I don't think those are conflicting things.
Okay.
Yeah, for instance,
Somebody's
let me give you
prime
an
might be
example.
different
Say-
for somebody else. Maybe somebody likes older women, you know? So it's different. And like for me in my 20s, I was on drugs, my face was crazy, like I wasn't in my prime. So I think it's different for every person. I think we got to stop stereotyping. I get his point. What his point is stop focusing on work and then you're going to miss out on
Wait,
family.
let me
That's
ask you a
his point.
question though. You said in your 20s you weren't in your prime, but let's assume that you had not done all the drug use and I don't know the partying and you know
What?
being
What?
involved
Wait.
in
She
What?
said she wasn't in her prime in her 20s?
Because, well, she's saying compared to now, I'm living a healthier life.
Everybody's
I'm not doing
prime's
drugs.
different.
But let's assume that in your 20s, there wasn't the drug use, there wasn't any of that stuff. Just comparing yourself at 25 versus your 34. So let's say 24 versus 34. Would you agree that you would have been more physically attractive then than you are now?
No, because I didn't start drugging and all that until I got out of the military, which was I was 27 years old.
But it's just a hypothetical.
But I'm saying, for me, when I grew in Christ, that was when my prime was. I feel like my soul is what matters.
Your physical appearance. Physical appearance.
Physical appearance.
That's, well,
I think
yeah.
my style got better. I know what to wear. Like, for me, I think it's
Here,
different.
hold on. Let me clarify here. This is a question we often ask. So the way we typically will ask this question is it's going to be related to the rating yourself question. All else being equal, do you think, and typically the way I ask it, do you think you'll be more physically attractive in 10 or 20 years time?
Less, obvious.
Less.
Yeah.
But so.
Then it would
I
stand to
don't think
reason that
30s
you'd be
to me
less
is not
physically attractive
old,
now than
like-
you were in your 20s.
But
right?
okay, so the way I can just ask this question, you're 34 now. If all else being equal, do you think you're more physically attractive at 24 than you are now at 34?
My muscles matured. I look better.
Muscles
I don't know.
matured?
I honestly,
Wait, what do you mean your muscles matured?
the older you get, like I was a bodybuilder, so my muscles weren't as developed as they are now. So when
you
it
think
comes to
that's like
body,
a-
like I can, if we stood up,
No,
my
no,
body
no, but
looks
all
great.
else,
like,
all else being equal.
Oh, like
So that means like you can't do this scenario where, well, 24 I was
There's
obese.
no conditionals.
Yeah, 24 I was obese. 34 I'm a super
I mean,
fit
generally
shape.
speaking, yes, of course. Like the
Okay.
older you get, life happens, gravity, all
All
those
right,
things.
gravity.
Also, you're not as fertile as you were in your 20s, right?
Yeah, but you only need one egg to get.
You only
Okay.
need what now?
You
One
only
egg.
Need one egg.
Yeah, no, I understand, but it stands to reason that women who get married in their 30s, and especially in their mid-30s, are likely going to have less children than if they get married in their 20s, right?
Yeah.
Wait, going around the table, reaction to the
Sorry.
Kirk video. Did you give an answer?
No, I haven't. I understand. I think if a woman wants to go to school
Nick, could you close the door?
if a woman wants to go to school to get like a better job in like corporate world, whatever, it's kind of hard. I don't think they're all the same. So if like some people are complaining about not finding anyone when they're 30, like I don't think everyone's complaining. Does that make sense?
Sort of, I guess. Okay.
Just go for the older guy.
I don't necessarily disagree with him I don't necessarily disagree with him with what he's saying because it's kind of true, but I mean, it just sucks.
It sucks. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Sure.
I already did.
Okay, well then, yeah, I don't necessarily agree, but like in your situation where you were.
Wait, you don't necessarily. What do you mean you don't?
Well, because
necessarily
like,
agree?
okay, in her situation, right?
Who's her situation?
Yes, yours. I mean, you were taking drugs and you just weren't in the right state of mind. So like maybe like she looks a lot better now than she did like when she was in her 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you
like
said
she's
you didn't
cleaned up.
start drugging until you were
27.
So I
Oh.
mean, like.
But even my soul.
Okay, well, Charlie Kirk said women in their
third.
30s as compared to women in their early 20s. So even using her example, not even using all else being equal, she wasn't drugging in her early 20s.
Well then, yeah, I think the dating pool's a lot better in your 20s and 30s then.
It's not even necessarily the dating. So he's talking, so the question sort of is, are women in their prime in their 20s as compared to their 30s?
Yeah, I agree. Women in their prime
Okay.
20s.
All right.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yep, I agree.